Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Frank DiMatteo. But I wanted to come on here live and just chop it up with you guys and see what's going on out there. I hope you guys are having a great night. We're going to get some exclusive content to you guys. I've been doing a lot of interviews behind the scenes, getting a lot of things done, so you guys are going to enjoy these interviews. And it's exclusive content you can't see anywhere else. The people I'm getting will not go on other people's shows and hop around like all these, less savory people. I call them podcast whores. That's what they are. Bruno, what's going on? How are you? Thanks for joining me today. So I'm going to be dropping a whole bunch of interviews. Have you guys seen the Joey Merlino interview on Vlad? If you're a member, you can watch the whole thing. And I have the whole video. And we're going to react to some of it tomorrow. We're going to do that tomorrow morning. We're going to react to the Vlad video. And I have so many interviews that I've been doing. Shout out to the American Pink Panther. Shout out to Pedge. Shout out to Carol. I think that's how you say it. Caro. I have a new interview. Well, it's not new, but it's a bonus with John Greshner. I'm going to be dropping that this weekend. I have another one with Mook, the former Mongols MC president. I got another one with Robert Miano, part 4. This is the last one with Miano. Shout out to Robert Miano. Shout out to Paulie Papalizio. Kind of butchered his name on the last one. I apologize. I got another one with Larry Mazza. And I have 2 more with Frank DiMatteo. I found some unreleased Anthony Ramundi, too. Anthony Ramundi sends his regards to everybody. Liberty, how are you? Full green light, what's going on? Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm going to go live later on and we're going to chop it up. Staxx, the hardest working creator. Thank you. Appreciate that. Jack, how you doing? Jack House. Checking in from Chicago. Shout out to Jack. Liberty says, love Larry Mazza. He's the best. I appreciate all you guys that come and watch this show. I got a lot of big things on the works. I've interviewed so many different people. Jamie Tall is a new one that's going to be dropping. I'm going to drop some clips tonight. The show today about Donkey Boy was hysterical. Don't worry, there's more to come. Because I'm not done with these people.
This is Dominic Sicali. Great.
Calm down, Dominic. Calm down. It's going to be all right, buddy. This interview is really good.
What's going on? I'm Punch. I'm the only American Pink Panther, and I'm chatting with Staxx. What are you doing?
I'll release some of that this weekend, and you guys will see. He was a jewel thief. Stole over almost $1 billion worth of jewels. He's been on Inside Edition, all kinds of different outlets. Spent a lot of time in prison, almost 20 years, 19 years, I believe, or 21, something like that. It's either 21 or 19. Insane story, though. Here, let's get to the video. Shout out to Frank. And I'll pop back on once this is done. Enjoy. To Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx. And today, I got Frank DiMatteo.
So now we're standing there saying, uh-oh, the boss, you're the boss, 2 capos, 2 killers. Now Anthony went. And we're with Anthony.
You get
Anthony
a phone
knows all
call?
our business.
You get a phone call saying, hey, Anthony's no good now.
We get a phone call from someone in the know that knows they took him out of circulation. That's how you find out. Someone knew he got out of circulation. Probably somebody in jail that there, and they saw him pulling out of circulation, and they got in touch with somebody, and somebody got in touch with us and say he got it pulled out of circulation. That's
you
what
know, once they're out of circulation, they're no good no more.
We knew what that meant, so we knew we were screwed after that. So we just waited to see what happened after that, because Anthony knew all our business. We did many things together, and Anthony knew my father's business, because you just know, because they were at that level. My father was at his level in a lot of ways, so you know what he did and reputation. So what happened was nothing came about. Anthony went on trial. Anthony testified against everybody, and none of the guys in the crew got picked. We got picked up originally, but no one got indicted or on anything. So we just sat there and waited. And what happened was Anthony testified. Whatever he did, he flipped on whoever he did, a chin, everybody, and went in the program. Never saw him again. But in between that, Fritzy Giovanelli. I got my wife's here. I don't remember. Fritzy, we had a meeting before this all happened on Court Street. Fritzy had a guy that was in the DA's office that let him know that there was a surveillance on Anthony and those guys. So Fritzy grabbed my father, because we're very close, and says, "Listen, Ricky, Anthony's got an investigation on. Go grab him, let him know." So we had a meeting on Court Street. Fritzy comes down, because they're both straightened out, so they had to be there. And he tells him that he didn't tell him who he had, what he had. He just told him there was a open investigation is happening. So what happens was, okay, so Anthony cooled down and like that. But after he got pinched and he flips, he tells the law nothing about that. What happens is that Ricky was involved with that, put that meeting together, and we were at that meeting. So what happens is Fritzy asked my father to be a character witness for him at trial. So my father says yes. Bad move.
That's a really bad move, though. If you're in that life, to be a character witness in court, right?
Very bad move. Yeah, my father had seven murders, three trials, and beat all 3 murders of the 7. I mean, drug pinches, assaults. I mean, all his life he's with the Gallows. He's bodyguard to Larry Gallows since 1962. I mean, it's a fucking bad move. But what do we know? That's what they choose. That's what the lawyers want. Ricky, being a friend for Fritzy, says, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. As a friend, you want me to do, I'll come in and do it. Anyway, I got the transcripts. It's in that book. What We're Really Cowboys, Life After President Street. The transcript's in there. It's a fucking hilarious. He goes to be character for Fritzy, and they ask nothing about Fritzy. All they asked about is Gallows and killings and 62 and who's boss and who's not boss and who's Robin Hood and who's in charge and what they did in 62 and 65 and anyway, and that's what he did. So anyway,
does your father answer this stuff? Does he answer?
Yeah, he answered everything. He says it's in the book. I know what you're talking about. We're just a bunch of guys on the corner that it was crazy. And he goes, we're like Robin. So the guy says, you're like Robin Hood in the 70s. Yeah, that's like that. We're like Robin Hood in the 70s and unorganized crime. He goes, we're just a bunch of guys that people bartering, and things happen. It was just crazy. You know what I mean? They asked if you were boss of the Gallo family. And he goes, no. They said, well, we had signed affidavits that there was a meeting in 73, which I was at, that they asked Ricky to to take over the Gallo crew. They didn't want Albert to. When it was a breakup in '73 in that family, and they asked Ricky to take the crew, he said no. And anyway, they knew this. Funzawa was there. Frank Terry came to that meeting, and Joe Trapani came for that meeting in 1973 on Woodhall Street. Anyway, it was a big breakup, and that's why there was another war in '73 to '75. Anyway, the law knew all this, and they asked him. He says, "Well," and how they knew this, because everybody at that meeting I know, including me, my friend Gubadil, and the guys that were involved, and nobody that I know of ever went bad to this day. They either dead, got shot, in jail. In fact, they're all dead. But I never heard none of them go bad. But this law, in the transcripts, I'm listening, is that they asked him, well, we know that you were asked at that meeting to take over to be the capo in that fair in the gallows. He said, no, denied everything. And we're scratching our head now. How do you know this? I mean, because everybody there, now this is 20 years later, 73, 83, 93. This is 25 years later. Everyone's dead. No one we know went bad. And then we figured out. Probably Anthony Rotunda, when the law went to him at one point, or Anthony Capo, or one of those guys that went bad before that, told him that Ricky was, instrumental down with the Gallo Pafaci wars and the breakup in '73, and that they wanted Ricky to, because well-respected guy, they wanted him to be the capo in that, or be the boss of that crew. Yeah. And questioned him on that. And he denied it. But they came up, that's what they came up with. Nothing to do with Fritzy's trial, nothing to do with, anything. And I put it in the book. And so Anthony, what happened was the law went back to Anthony, says, who's this guy, Ricky? Tell us about it, that he's testifying for Fritzy. And he goes, oh, whoa, yeah. I go, well, you got to give us something on him. And he gave us a few things. He gave a few things about a couple of adult business we were in, a couple of bars and topless joints we were involved with. He gave it up, but nothing bad. And they grabbed the owners of the place. They subpoenaed them, and they said, no, we're not being shooken down. We're all partners over here. That's it. So I had to throw everything away. But he had to give something up, because
they would have ripped his deal up. They would have ripped his deal up.
Not giving us up, by Ricky going to that. So Fritzy gets convicted because he didn't help him for shit, because it was terrible, and then we get picked up for those the couple of topless joint, some adult business. We had a video company and stuff there, and we all got questioned again with the owners of it, and that gets thrown out too. And then Anthony goes in the sunset, and then we turn around. Ricky turns around, tells me, he says, all those guys are pinched. He goes, Vinyosha's pinched, the second under command's pinched, the three shooters we know that were up there, they were all done. And Anthony, which he was there to school, he flipped. We're done. He goes, what do you want to do? Because I'm going to Florida. I said, okay. He goes, you want to come? You want to stay? I said, okay, I'm going to stay for a while. I got the kids. We're not children. We're older people by now. I was probably in my 40s at the time, 20 years ago, 24 years ago. Yeah, I was like 45, so we're up there. I got kids, grandchildren coming. So I decided to stay a little while, and my father left to Florida, and he just said, fuck it, I'm done. No one came knocking after that, with that family, because, the Jersey crew was so fucked up now, because there was so many guys went bad. What are going to come in the Brooklyn crew and ask them what's going on? They were afraid to even ask anybody in Brooklyn who they are, what they have, what they don't have, because they don't know who's going bad. So no one ever asked anybody. In fact, all the Brooklyn guys got released. They went other places. Who went everywhere, who went home, who went to, did nothing. But everybody got released from that Brooklyn crew. A lot of guys are old, and they wound up dying. And that's what happened with that Jersey thing with Sammy Plummer. I tell you a good story. We were at I forgot what year it was. Sammy Plummer stepped down, but he was up there, and it was he funded some kind of a nunnery in Italy. It was a big funder for it. So every year they had this big dinner in Jersey. So we had to get a table. It was 10 of us got a table, 150 each, and we had a table. And we had this big function, beautiful function. And Sammy the Plumber was there. And the first time I never met Sammy the Plumber. I think it was always in Florida. He had a ruling panel running Jersey already. I think of that John Riggy was in charge already, but he was still, Sammy the Plumber, the Calavante family. That's him. And he comes down, and he asks him to go on stage. They go on stage, everybody's watching, everybody's eating and drinking. He gets on stage and he talks about the nuns in Italy and all this shit, what it's about. And then he turns around and he says, and I got to tell you something. And he goes, what? He goes, I don't like my family arguing. And you hear a pin drop. And everybody looks up. He goes, I don't like stuff like that. He goes, you guys got to stop doing this like that. All of a sudden, you see a bunch of people stand up and run out the door. It was the mayor of this town. It was the police chief. It was a DA and stuff like that. They came for this function. And then Sammy the Plumber's up there talking about family business because he was senile by it. He was getting up. He was senile by that. We just looked at each other and said, holy shit, did we just hear that? But that's how he was an old timer. He was losing his mind. And he gets up in 500 people in this hall, cops, the mayor, police chief, anybody you can think of that was legit. The Italians, with this committee.
Yeah.
And they just shit. And we just like looked at each other and said, oh God. And
what they got nervous, right? They got all scared.
Yeah, you got this guy that's he had to be 80 by the time he's shot. You know what I mean? But he had half his wits, and he's going there, telling her thank you for coming to this Italian thing for this nunnery in Italy. And in the middle of it, he stops and tells people, I don't like my family arguing. I don't like this guy doing this guy doing that. And everybody was like fucking shocked. Never believed something like that would happen. Like he was talking in a meeting privately. And everybody, people ran out of the place. And that's the only time I met him. Met him that one time, and that was it.
And the character in The Sopranos is probably based off of him when he started going senile, right?
I think so. But a lot of that. I was involved with that too. I was driving home. We had there was a informant with us at the time. Just before I would say 98 or 99, before the pinch came down. We used to go to a place in Staten Island. Anthony used to have meetings in Staten Island. We used to go meet him over there. Roselli's, I think the place was in Staten Island. And there was a rat with us, a cop. It was a cop and a rat. We didn't know that. So one night we're driving home, and I think I was driving Anthony. I was driving. My father was in the car. Anthony Rotunda. And the rat or the informant or the cop, I'm not sure which one. And they start talking about The Sopranos.
What's good, everybody? So I just got off the phone with Sonny Grasso. He says, what's up to everybody? Hopes everyone's having a great day. Had to break the screen down. I got it. Bobo Comp, how are you? Bruno, Car Time Automotive. What's going on, gangsters? Ain't no gangsters over here. Nikki the Barber, how are you? Thanks for joining me tonight. Rat Hunter, how are you? The Bronx, what's going on? So on the next episode, he talks about The Sopranos and the tap that they did in the car. He was in the car while they were talking about him. Like they were talking about The Sopranos, and that got out there. And I'm going to look for the phone tap and get it for you guys. But there's so much stuff going on. If you guys don't know, the interview with Joey Merlino and Vlad came out tonight. Part 1's out now. And if you get a membership on Vlad, you can see the whole thing. And I got the whole thing. And we're going to review it. But I'm not going to review the whole thing until he has it out, because I'm not going to disrespect Vlad like that. I'm gonna wait. It's just not right to do that, especially he has the whole interview on the paywall. So I'm gonna wait. But we can go over part 1 of what they have so far. Bruno says, support Staxx. Hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you, Bruno. I appreciate it. I got a lot of great people that watch me, and I couldn't ask for better viewers. I really can't. Like, I don't need a big crowd of fake ass people. You know what I'm saying? I got the people that I want here, and I don't need fake people. And if one person's watching me, it's good enough for me. I really don't care about the views or any of that shit, because we're getting somewhere, whether they like it or not. Need to send Eugene the mousetrap game. Nah, he's already in his own mousetrap.
This is Dominic Sicali.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
In this Airbnb, right?
Yes, I pushed the door.
And
I'm
whose
gonna
card
get it
is on
fixed.
file here?
Yours. But I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix the door for you.
So if I get charged for this,
You're not being charged.
I'm suing you. I'm taking
I'm
you to
fixing
court.
you. I'm fixing it.
People are out of control. So what do you guys think about Joey Merlino going on Vlad TV? You're the man, brother. What's going on, Bronx? How are you? Gene, aka Dick Lips. Listen, there's some punk ass people out there. There's some punk ass content creators, but we don't mention people over here because we don't care about any of them. Listen, it's mind over matter. I don't mind because you don't matter. And that's how it is. I ain't worried about none of these people. They're all trash bags. And that's where they belong. You see the big drama going on with Calandra. He came back out swinging at MRE. Crazy. I only got one word of advice. If you're going to make threats, don't do it on YouTube, man. It's not too bright. You know what I'm saying? People that make threats on YouTube, it's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's insane. But we don't get involved with the bullshit. We got enough bullshit to take care of, right? If you guys like that interview with Frank and you want me to play part 3, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat. Maybe I'll play part 3 right now. I got so many interviews to drop. I got Frank part 3. I got Larry Mazza. I got Mooch part 4. I got Punch, the American Pink Panther. Robert Miano part 4 is gonna drop. Shit, maybe I'll drop one tonight. What time is it? 9 o'clock. You guys want to see part 3 now? If you want to see part 3, I'll drop it now if you want to see it. Maureen, how are you? Full green light. What's going on? Fuck it. Let's drop it.
To Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Frank DiMatteo.
I'm not sure which one. And they start talking about the Sopranos. And Anthony starts saying, you know, Ricky, I could fucking swear they're talking about us with this shit and stuff like that. And that was the whole conversation. They recorded it. I didn't know the guy in the back that was the informant recorded everything. And it was, and that came out later on that Anthony was, talking about how they thought the Sopranos was talking about them.
And that was
I
the
went to that
time when you guys were in the car. And I remember
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and we're coming out of Roselli's in Staten Island. In fact, I sat with the. I'm not sure now because I don't really, you know, pay attention to every little thing, even afterwards. So long ago. It was an informant or was the undercover agent. I sat at the bar because we left the table for a little while and we were watching a Yankee game. The guy never said nothing to me about anything criminal. We were watching a Yankee game, and then we went back to the table to eat. It was Anthony Rotunda, my father, a few other guys that were there, and then they talked a little business, but nothing big. And then we wound up leaving, and I found out that was either the informant or the rat or the detective. So we were right in the middle of that shit like that. It was crazy. It was crazy. You know, we used to joke around all the time with Sopranos all the time because don't forget, we used to go to those guys were friends of ours. So we went to a lot of parties with them. You know, what's his name, Christopher
And Frank, right?
Frank Vince is a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know, Frank Vince is a good friend of mine. I met him from those days. Didn't see him for many years, and then hooked him up many years ago. Many years after, when I started Mob Candy magazine, he wanted to be on the cover of my magazine.
Yeah.
But yeah, Frank. So I knew him from then, and then you know, and then we hooked up again later on, and we're close to the. At the end, we were close, but he wound up dying young, early. But we were friends with all of them. You know, James Gandolfini and Pussy. I knew forever. You know, we used to do a lot of things together. Always got invited, especially that Jersey crew because they it was so close and people were friends and it's supposed to be based off that. So we went to a lot of parties together, a lot of drinking together. They used to come to the after hour joints we had. We had a topless joints, you know, Vinny Pastore and Frank used to come there, drink with us over there. So we were very close with them. Went to party with Vito Anafermo and all those guys used to come down with us. So
do you feel like they really
a lot of
acted like that part, or do you think they were trying really hard? Or do you think it kind of was natural to them?
Well, listen, they got schooled. They were good actors. They good street. They've been doing street stuff since he was. They were all good what they did. I mean, they got schooled. You know, you got guys that tutor you, in what they're doing. But they were pretty natural. I mean, they acted pretty natural. They were pretty good what they did. I mean, they were even even when they weren't doing that, they didn't change that much. I mean, I sat with them many nights, except for Michael Imbriali. He was a completely different character. He was a liberal, regular guy. But Pussy and Vincent and those guys were all same character. They acted the same, spoke the same mannerisms. They weren't too far from their character.
Yeah, I was at
and none of them involved.
I was at Vincent's birthday party. Shout out to Big Pussy, Vincent Pastore.
Yeah, Big Pussy, good guy. I love him, man. He's a good guy.
Yeah, man. This is.
I had him on. I had him on the cover of one of my magazines. He did cover my magazine.
Yeah, when he had black hair. I remember when he had black hair.
Yes.
You had him on the cover.
Yeah. Frank Vincent came down. These guys didn't have to do that. They did it for me. They came down because we were friends, and they came down to the cover. Monasante came down to the cover for me, and Monasante was up there. He was a big actor, and he came down. Frankie Boy goes, "Whatever you need, I come down." Gianni Russo, as crazy as was when I asked him, he came flying down for me. I mean, no matter what people say like that, I didn't have to ask him twice. He did the right thing by me in a minute. They all did the covers for me for the magazine, so you get friendly, after that. Before that, I knew them before that, but after you do that stuff with them, you get a little more friendly. Go out, drink a little more. We went for dinner. I got very close with Aman. I used to go up to his house in upstate a lot. You meet a lot of people, through this life.
I want to get Gianni on. If you could help me get him.
Gianni Russo?
Yeah.
I don't know. You put money up with Johnny, he'll come fucking do it. You have to show some scratch to Johnny. I don't think he does nothing for nothing.
Yeah, I know a lot of these people pay. I never paid for an interview, believe it or not.
I know. Most people don't. I think Johnny. I don't. Listen, man. Johnny's up there, been around forever. You know, I mean, he's no spring chicken. You know,
Yeah.
he's been around there. He went through a lot of shit in life. You know, I read his book. I know him. You know, sat with me and my wife and his girlfriend. We went for dinner quite a few times. But you know, we don't talk stuff like that. You know, when we were for dinner, we talk nothing like of all that stuff in the book and stuff like. You don't do that. I mean, that's not what we do.
If you want to see the rest, make sure you subscribe. Join the membership. I want to show you guys a funny video real quick before we go. I might be on later. I got something funny to show you guys. This is hilarious. Look at this. This is like what these YouTube gangsters are. Right here. This is what they are.
S-Dog says you need a gun so that the others know who is boss. S-Dog is 13 years old. T-Bird has been carrying a gun since she was 10. She says you got to bust them before they bust you. T-Bird is only 14 years old. S-Dog and T-Bird. They both run with a gang in their hometown. S-Dog says you need a gun so that the others know who is boss. S-Dog is 13 years old. T-Bird has been carrying a gun since she was 10. She says you got to bust them before they bust you.
S-Dog and T-Bird. Real gangsters. Real gangsters in that gangster life, right? Those two remind me of all these YouTubers and these fake ass gangsters. And listen, I'm not a gangster. I'm not trying to be a gangster. I'm not up here trying to be a tough guy. All of them are. The Cajun and Brittany, how are you? Thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. I can't wait to show you guys what I've been working on. There's a lot of stuff I can't talk about because I signed contracts, but you guys seen some of it with the movie and all that. There's a lot more to come. And it's incredible that I'm even part of all that. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you soon. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this podcast, too fucking bad. Start your own. Just remember, don't be a bitch.